Hey guys, welcome back to Affordable. Now today is a big day, a lot of deals are being reached. Finally we're getting more information about deals and not just about rumors. So let's get started. Now the first player I want to talk about is Dembele. Now I told you guys that Barcelona was going after Dembele, that is the replacement that they want for Neymar. And now Dortmund made it official. They came out and rejected the first offer publicly that Barcelona made to them, saying that it was too low for a talented player like Dembele. Now they didn't specify how much the offer was for, but reports are coming now that Barcelona offers 70 million euros for Dembele, and on top of that some variables that could have pushed the price to 110 million euros. But now Barcelona is pushing with a second offer, and L'Equipe is reporting that with that offer, Barcelona will be reaching a deal in a couple of hours with Dortmund for Dembele. Some other outlets are saying that a deal already is being reached. So the offer is consisting of 90 million euros plus some variables that will push the player's price to 130 million euros. Now I said this before that I feel that Barcelona is overpaying for the player. I think that he's a young, talented player. I think he's also a really good player, but I just feel that he's not worth 130 million euros right now. He might be in the future, but obviously you're already paying for something that he might be in the future, and that is just, I don't know, I think that is just something wrong about that. I feel that right now Barcelona's front office wants to make a deal. They want to sign a big name, and that is the reason why they basically overpaying for Dembele. I feel that the front office of Barcelona is moving out of fear of losing their position more than actually trying to make the best deal for the team. But obviously Dembele can prove me wrong. He can come to Barcelona and maybe even be a better player than even Neymar was. I mean, basically it's a gamble that Barcelona is taking right now to see whether the player can obviously fit into La Liga, can fit into playing the Barcelona style. So definitely we'll see in the future who's right, who's wrong. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong. Honestly, like I said again, I think that he has the potential. Obviously he does. He's a young, talented player, but I just feel that you're definitely overpaying when you pay 130 million euros for a player like that. But moving on to Mbappe. Now I told you guys that Mbappe is being pursued again by PSG. I also told you guys that Mbappe has chosen to join PSG over Real Madrid and Manchester City. And now some reports are coming out saying that a deal has been reached between PSG and Monaco for 150 million euros plus some variables that will take the player's price to 180 million euros. So that was the number that Monaco wanted to hit, was 180 million euros, and obviously they hit it with some variables. If you guys don't know what variables are, it basically means that if Mbappe plays a number of games or might score a number of goals, or PSG might win the Champions League, that basically means more money for Monaco. That's really what variables mean. So Monaco has 30 million euros on variables, which is definitely, I would say, a great sell. I mean, if something Monaco does right is sell their players, I mean, I think that they made over 400 million euros just selling players this year. So definitely Monaco knows how to sell their players. Now the question is going to be, are they going to invest some of that money into some superstar? For Monaco, I kind of doubt it. I kind of feel that Monaco is basically taking a different route with the PSG. They're basically going into the whole rebuild with young talent and maybe trying to get more superstar and trying to sell those as well. I feel like basically Monaco is more of a business than an actual team. I mean, they already had a young team already. Last season they reached the semi-finals of the Champions League with a really young team. And if the thing that Monaco was pursuing was trophies and things like that, I think that they will probably hold on to some of their players. But the fact that they went this summer and basically sold their best players that they had, I mean, that just shows to me that they really don't care about winning trophies. Mostly what they care about is basically developing players and maybe selling them again in the future. But I think that without a doubt, the winners of the transfer window this summer is PSG. I mean, taking away Neymar from Barcelona and then outbidding Real Madrid for Mbappe, honestly, I don't really think that there's that many clubs that can go against Real Madrid and Barcelona and actually beat both of them. Now the question is going to be, are they going to get in trouble with financial fair play rules? I think that this can be a possibility. Like I told you guys yesterday, the rumor around Europe is that the government of Qatar is putting money into PSG, and that is why they have so much money to go after players. If this is true, then this can honestly cost PSG some big penalties, but obviously we'll still have to wait to see what happens with that. But if you're a PSG fan, I think you have to be happy because basically your team is creating a super team. And the last news for today is Sergio Roberto. Now I told you guys a couple of days ago that Chelsea and Manchester United were pursuing the player. Now Juventus seems to be also going after the player as well. The reason why there's so many teams after Sergio Roberto, it has to be one, because he definitely showed the potential that he has last season. I mean, playing out of place, and I think that he was one of the most solid players that Barcelona had last year. It's kind of a shame that Barcelona is putting themselves in this situation, and for a couple of reasons honestly. One of them is just not giving young young players a chance. I mean, when you look back into, I will say, the Guardiola era, you had players like Sergio Busquets that didn't really have any experience on the first team, but because of some potential that Guardiola saw on Busquets, he basically put him in the starting 11, and he developed from that, and he became one of the best midfielders in the world. And I think that the same thing kind of can happen with Sergio Roberto. I mean, every time that you give him a starting spot, he's someone that has worked hard, someone that shows that he has potential to be a great player. The best game that he had last season was probably against Real Madrid, and honestly I feel like that's another thing that I like about Sergio Roberto, is that the bigger the scenario is, the better that he becomes. He's someone that likes to play in those difficult scenarios. I mean, he came out big obviously against PSG, scoring the last goal for the comeback for Barcelona. I think that when a player shows you that type of mentality and just that effort that he puts into every game, I feel like you have to repay them, not maybe with the starting 11, but maybe with more minutes, showing them that, hey, you know what, we actually care about you. And that is something that I think Barcelona is not doing with Sergio Roberto, basically trying to get another midfielder in there, going after Coutinho. That basically means that Sergio Roberto is going to be basically in the bench next season. And the other problem that I got with this transfer is that it's only 40 million euros. That is the buyout clause for Sergio Roberto's contract, and to me that is just a mismanagement of contracts, honestly. I mean, when you look at Real Madrid, they sold Morata, someone that came out the bench, really didn't start any big games last season for Real Madrid. They sold that player for 80 million euros to Chelsea. Now you can say that, okay, Morata is a striker and that's why he costs more money, but then you look at Danilo. I think Danilo played left wing or right wing, I don't even know what he played for Real Madrid. Most of the times he was on the bench. Real Madrid sold him for 35 million euros. So you're telling me that a player that's starting in Barcelona that shows so much potential, he only costs 5 million euros more than Danilo? That to me just doesn't make any sense, honestly. I don't see why would you put a buyout clause of a player's contract at 40 million euros. That's just asking for other teams to come and steal that player away from you. For me, there's a lot of mismanagement of players' contracts in Barcelona. I mean, the fact that Neymar had a buyout clause of 222 million euros, but Carvajal from Real Madrid has a 300 million euro buyout clause, that doesn't make any sense, honestly. So I hope that Sergio Roberto stays in Barcelona, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he decides to leave. I mean, the teams that are going after him are not small teams. Chelsea, Manchester United, Juventus, they're all going to be fighting for the Champions League. They're all going to be fighting for the league titles. So definitely not a bad spot for Sergio Roberto to go to. So yeah guys, that's all the news that I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys have a great day guys. Take care guys. Peace.